Hello, hello. Sorry, it's Patty Jo. How is everyone? Okay, let's start with some comments. Okay, Miss Carol Christensen, I don't know which day you were watching. It was a recent one. This day in court made me beyond angry at Brooks. He is beyond vile. Yes, he is, but buckle up. He's getting nothing but worse. The closer he gets to everything, he is just getting worse and worse and worse. Okay. Brave Hardicus, that's cute. Whenever someone is referring about Mr. Brooks and not directly to Mr. Brooks, he is effectively telling the jury, I'm Mr. Brooks. I agree. I totally agree. If that's not your name, don't answer to it. Don't answer. It's done. Done. Whilst claiming he's not, he doth protest too much, yes? In other words, he's telling on himself, as he does all the time. Like a kid when an adult finds something broken and the child is, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. You're totally right. I completely agree. It's just a way to interrupt and get people to look at him. It's a narcissist thing, I think. Okay. Is this the same person doing Trump 25? Yeah. Paul likes Trump for 2024. Good luck. I like your enthusiasm. So I'll like that one for him, because I like to support everybody, and I may like Trump too. I don't know. He says, okay, this is user EG1GG. I don't know. I can't read, that's too small. When he says at that time, I won't to slap the water. Oh, he wants to slap the water. He wants to, at that time. Sue Opper played Brooks like a violin. That woman was so underestimated. And she is, as a leader, as an attorney, as a speaker, just as a general person, she was one of the unsung heroes and stars of this. And she did not put herself out as that. She was very humble, which I like. She played Brooks like a violin by introducing the still photo. Oh, she knew. You think she knew? Or you think she was just playing the odds? Either way, she was good. She didn't let it get by him. He knew about the video. He knew that was coming in. I think he wanted it in a weird way. Okay. So this is day 11. We are continuing. I, of course, have left it right where we left off.
Actually, there is, Your Honor. Subject matter jurisdiction has to be proven for the record. Has to be proven. Record.
I gave you a written decision.
See where we're
And I accepted for value in return for value.
And that's how I'm going to answer that. So
let's not verified proof.
Oh my gosh. Even when he gets the answers he wants, he doesn't accept them.
Sir, there is no requirement in the law that the state or the court establish that. So
actually, there is.
Right.
Actually, there is, Your Honor.
Actually, there is. And look at this, Jay Pritzker.
Subject matter jurisdiction
Somebody said
has
something
to be
about
proven
him.
for the record. Has to be proven.
Somebody said some stuff about he was just after the cloud. He didn't really agree. I don't know what he said some really vile things. And nobody agreed with him. Yeah. So there he is. He's trying to get his
to be proven
15 minutes off of.
You know that just as well as
Mr. Brooks.
You know that.
Please do not make statements that mischaracterize the law.
You know it has to be proven
or that
for
impugn
the
the integrity of this court.
You know it has to be proven
and the
on the
proceedings
record.
Here.
You know
the jury is advised to disregard the statements that Mr. Brooks is making regarding subject matter jurisdiction. They are not evidence, and you are to disregard them.
and not presented as evidence just has yet to be proven for the record.
The jury will disregard the incorrect statements of the law that Mr. Brooks is stating.
Where's lawful law that is incorrect?
Mr. Brooks, please. I am going to read one instruction. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated.
Okay, so this is the instruction. I don't need to.
The defendant will now make an opening statement. The purpose of an opening statement
This
is
is where
to
we
give
are.
the defendant an opportunity to tell you what he expects the evidence will show so that you will better understand the evidence as it is introduced during the trial. I must caution you, however, that the opening statements are not evidence. With that, go ahead, sir.
Oh, God.
Obviously, I don't have any
Put it back on!
well-prepared speech, so I'm just going to...
Put it back on. Put it back on. Please.
speak from the heart.
You don't have one. Freaking Tin Man. Goblin.
I would just like to first say that I want to bring to remembrance something I think everyone in this room has been taught pretty much as far back as we can remember, is that there's always two sides to every story. And for so long now, roughly a year, there's only truly been one side told of this story. And I've sat back and watched from countless narratives that's been put out there, the way this incident has been portrayed at times, and
The opening statement is supposed to be guiding us through what he's going to say the story is. He still has a chance to get there from here.
finally everyone getting a chance to get the full story. You won't hear me try to argue facts. The fact is that this incident was tragic, very tragic. That's not lost on me. Facts are that there's still a lot of people healing.
Hilly.
A lot of families healing.
Hilly.
On both sides.
What's the matter with this mouth?
And when I'm confident that the evidence will show.
So vile that he's made himself equal to the victims. Both sides are healing. They're both healing.
Oh,
Sorry,
I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. When I'm confident
That's going to show
that
what?
the evidence will show is that this incident was not planned. This incident was not intentional.
He's testifying.
And this incident was never even thought about.
Like, you don't think about anything.
It's easy to I'm sorry. Just need a second.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Put the mask back on.
think it's easy to look at the magnitude of something like this and
just that one pause he just made. There could have been some real emotion behind those tears. I think he's truly sorry he got caught and that he has to answer to it. He's sorry about the way this is going to affect the rest of his life. He's sorry for himself. But he doesn't have any feeling beyond that. The only emotion is right here. Not for anybody he's harmed. Do I have that kind of right? Let's see.
form opinions. I think it's easy to disregard a lot of factors.
You're not saying anything.
And I think in reference to what I stated earlier, it's easy to forget
I want to go
the
home.
other side of the coin. There's been a lot of suffering involved in this incident. A lot. Obviously, with the families, with the community, and even the alleged defendant's family as well. There's been a lot of suffering. A lot of misunderstanding. And I just want you to keep in mind everything that will be presented in its totality. Keep in mind. The power that you have.
There he goes. To send me home. He's talking about nullifying.
I believe that shouldn't escape your knowledge. This has been a long process for everybody. And what I believe is it's time for you to make your decision. All of you. I believe that, and I pray that it's the right decision. That all the factors are weighed. There's been a lot of words thrown out there about the alleged. A lot of speculation, a lot of ridicule.
Speculation and ridicule. You making fun of me. You making fun of me.
Words like demon.
Mm-hmm.
Words like monster.
Mm-hmm. Get a new tissue, Darrell.
I know a lot of the time I've been before you see me with this mask on.
Just mask on.
I've had my reasons for that.
Yeah.
But I
See his
feel
disgusting face.
now is the time to. It's important that
You see my face?
you see me for who I am.
Oh God, it wasn't. It was
No mask
right. No man.
for who I am.
I am.
I think this is the moment for that. I pray that your eyes and ears remain as open as possible. And understand that you alone decide this case, this matter. The power is in your hands. All of you. To determine for yourselves what truth is.
What truth is? What the truth is?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh my God. What the truth is?
And
Every
do you
mission
have their writing materials available? All right. Thank you.
This guy's so disgusted
Mr.
back
Brooks,
here.
you
Look
ready
at
to
him.
call your first? Will be your second witness, actually.
Look at him. He's so grossed out right here.
You need a minute?
So do I. Oh my goodness. She's okay. You're done with your act. Call your witness.
I'm going to take a short break. I'll rise for the jury, please. We'll be with you shortly.
How long are we going to entertain his act? Look at him.
The materials that you were looking for, let us know if there's something you need in that regard. And Attorney Opper, if you could perhaps just confer with him over which witnesses are here. I'll step off the bench while you do that, and if someone can just let me know. All right, well then I'm going to instruct the jury to come out, and then you can call your first witness. You can have this back again.
All rise.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. All right, you may call your first witness. Actually, your second witness.
The defense would like to call the plaintiff, state of Wisconsin, to the stand.
Your Honor,
Object. The objection is noted. It is sustained. Call your next witness, please.
Reason for the sustain?
It's
Not relevant. And you haven't named a person to go along with it.
The subpoena was accepted, Your Honor.
I'll take the issue up outside the presence of the jury if necessary. Call your next witness, please.
Well, I would like to make an oral tennis motion to dismiss for failure to appear by the plaintiff and for failure to state a claim from which relief can be granted.
I will take that up outside the presence of the jury. Next witness, please.
So is the state not present?
Mr. Brooks, I'm not going to address that any further while the jury's present. I'll take that up outside their presence. Call your next witness, please.
The defense calls Nicholas Kirby.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Nicholas Kirby.
So have we noticed that in the first section of this whole thing, the argument with Erica and the addition of Corey Runkle, I believe her name is, and Nicholas Kirby, that he was not originally called. Was he originally? I think he was originally called. Okay. So I don't know why he's calling him again and there's not a thing, but maybe he wasn't. I don't know. Maybe you guys can refresh my memory. I'm certainly not going back.
Is that a witness who's in the hallway? Do we know?
I don't believe in the hallway, but we will have him brought over, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. It'll be just a moment or two while we wait for that witness to come into the courtroom.
Look at his arrogant face. And we gonna be meeting on my terms. I'm gonna be meeting Nick on my terms, in my area. Yeah, you're not in the prison yard.
Sir, would you
Solitary
please make
confinement.
your way to the witness stand? It is up one riser to my right. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk Teresa, who's across from you, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. The first thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record, and then to spell each. Go ahead.
First name Nicholas, last name Kirby, Nicholas Kirby.
Right. Thank you. Go ahead, sir. Your witness.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kirby. How are you today?
I'm here.
What do you do for a living?
Mostly temp work.
For a living.
Do you recall
For a living.
the events of November 21st of 2021?
All too well.
And what were you doing that day?
What time of the day?
Fair.
Around 3 o'clock-ish.
3 o'clock-ish. Around 3 o'clock-ish, I was walking with Corey around WAUKESHA. Earlier, well, yeah.
And you made reference to walking with Corey. Who is Corey?
Corey is a friend of Miss Patterson's.
And would it be fair to say that it's also a friend of yours?
Mutual friend, yes.
In reference to Corey?
Yes.
And what were you doing?
Walking around WAUKESHA, she was waiting for Miss Patterson to get done meeting with Mr. Brooks. You,
At 3 o'clock?
around 3 o'clock-ish. Around that time, I had advised her not to go meet with Mr. Brooks.
You made reference to Mr. Brooks. Who's that?
That would be you.
And why would you say it would be you? That's,
Who is you?
Because that's your name.
Oh my gosh.
and you were privy to that information at the time?
I was privy to the information about you about a week prior to this incident.
About a week prior.
Privy. Some thug.
And during your walking around, what were you doing with Corey?
Walking, like literally walking. We went from one store to walking around downtown after Erica told us she was going to be going to meet with Mr. Brooks. That would be you.
You.
I had advised her not to do it because it was a bad idea. And I was in fear for her safety.
Yep. He's angry. This one.
You made reference to going from one store to another. What stores are you referencing?
Dollar General and Speedway.
Did you go anywhere else?
No.
Did you ever go to a park?
No.
Park. That's my narrative. That's my narrative.
You made reference to knowing about Brooks
Brooks.
a week prior to these events, you said?
You see,
I didn't know everything about him. Miss Patterson had showed me his rap sheet, if you will. And that was about it. I had heard prior
I'm going to stop the witness unless you want him to go there, not to discuss what may or may not be conduct of Mr. Brooks prior to November 21 of 2021. With that,
in other words, you're screwing up, Darrell.
You made reference to a picture you were shown?
Just a photograph with a rap sheet behind it.
That would be a mugshot.
And at some point, did you and your mutual friend Corey meet up with Miss Patterson?
Yes.
Do you recall where that was?
Where that
Corey
word.
and I were in the Dollar General area of WAUKESHA, which is between East and Broadway Street. We were walking away from Dollar General, towards where Erica had said that she was being assaulted and attacked.
And do you recall where that area was?
Yes.
Where was that area?
On White Rock Avenue, right across from White Rock Elementary, in front of the red apartments across from that area.
Red apartments.
Yes.
Do you know what those apartments are called?
I do not know the name. I'm guessing they're called White Rock Apartments.
And do you know if there's a park in that immediate vicinity?
There is a park there named Frame Park, yes.
Did you ever go to Frame Park?
No. We were in that area near the park where the elementary school is and the apartments are.
About what time did you and your mutual friend Corey meet up with Miss Patterson?
Miss Patterson called me and said that she was...
About what time was the question? About what
And
time?
I'm getting to that.
I'll direct the witness answer his question specifically. What time?
Honestly, around what time the parade started. I would have to say like dusk. I honestly don't wear a watch, so sorry, I don't remember the time. But if I had to put it at a time, I'd probably say about 4:35ish.
Let's back up a little bit.
Jesus.
Around what time did you and your mutual friend Corey first hook up that day?
I had worked that whole day, so we didn't meet up until I was done working, which was probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
And at some point, you received a phone call from Miss Patterson?
Yes.
You yourself?
Yes.
And then at that point, what did you do?
When she told me that she was in trouble and she needed help, I went to her aid, which means I took off from where I was near Dollar General and ran to where she told me to go.
And when you got there, what did you see?
When I got there, well, halfway towards White Rock Elementary, I stopped a police officer at a barricade and I let him know that a woman was being assaulted in a vehicle.
And do you recall giving a description of who may have been assaulting your friend?
No,
Why not?
because at that point in time, the description didn't matter. I had the identity of the vehicle. So I told them you need to be looking for a red SUV with a woman screaming out of it.
And how did you come into the knowledge of the description of the vehicle?
Because I saw the vehicle.
At what point did you see the vehicle?
When Corey and I were walking up White Rock Avenue on the apartment building side of White Rock, which would have been my right if you were walking towards the train tracks that cross White Rock. On my left was White Rock Elementary. I walked past the red vehicle, didn't realize that she was in that vehicle. Then Corey and I crossed the street to White Rock Elementary and started walking down the sidewalk. And I heard her scream, Miss Patterson scream. I don't remember exactly what she said, but she screamed and I knew it was her, so I walked back across the street and escorted her across the street over to White Rock Elementary.
I don't think that's what
I'm just giving you full description.
Let's back up a little bit because that doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
You stated that
actually makes a lot of sense. In fact, now re-listening to what he just said, Goblin here asked how he gave a description of not him but the car. He said, well, I gave a description of the car because I had seen the car. I saw the red SUV. I heard somebody screaming. I knew it was Erica, recognized her voice. That's why he did it. So he did actually answer the question. Ugh, God, what a goblin. What a goblin. It's getting closer and closer.
you had a description of the vehicle. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Yes, he just...
The question was, how did you
You don't know the question.
learn of the description of the vehicle
He just said.
at that point?
Miss Patterson told me over the phone that she was in a red SUV. There aren't many red SUVs with young women screaming for help in WAUKESHA.
That was testimony.
So I'm assuming, because you made reference to stopping law enforcement before arriving to the scene. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
So I'm assuming somewhere in the time of you stopping the law enforcement officer to report what you were being told, and then actually walking past the vehicle as you said you did,
As
and
you
then
say.
hearing this and all this.
And Odis.
Did you give a full report to law enforcement?
At the time when someone was in help and needed help immediately, absolutely not. I said there's a woman being attacked in a red SUV, you need to call for backup. Now.
And then you just ran.
And then I
away.
ran towards the person that needed help.
Did you at any time give a more detailed report that evening?
No, not that evening.
Did you speak with any more law enforcement that evening?
Yes.
Do you recall whom that was?
I do not recall the officer's name that showed up in the SUV coming down White Rock, in the police squad SUV. I don't even know the name of the officers that turned into Frame Park and went to the boat launch instead of where Miss Patterson, myself, and Corey were.
How is this helping him?
But yes, I did speak to an officer.
how did you come into the knowledge of where officers turned and went?
Because me, Erica, and Corey were arguing with Mr. Brooks on the side of the road of White Rock, right in front of White Rock Elementary. And the officer that I had stopped at the barricade when we were coming to Miss Patterson's aid had radioed for backup, and obviously given them description of the vehicle that I had described to them, the red SUV. That backup came, but they went to Frame Park. They did not go to where we were on White Rock.
Okay. So, as a first responder, I know exactly kind of what's going on here. So, they've got an elementary school, a corner, a park, and all this stuff all kind of in the same area. And when you get a call for a certain type of complaint, there's generally a place to go. So, they're getting a call for backup for a fighter domestic. I'm guessing that doesn't often happen at the elementary school or near it because, that's kind of not the demographic of that. But at a park where people would go and say, maybe take a bag with some liquor, or maybe they're just going and they just get into an argument, or it would be more of an adult area or whatever. Let me give you an example. So we would get a general address, and there's one corner that was in my first due that almost a quarter square mile was the same address, but it was a bunch of buildings, and there was a park, and there's a old fort that the city neglects, and all these things. It's closed now because the bridge is collapsed. But when we would get, let's say, self-harm complaints, the boat dock is where you would go because people would go and, try to do something there. So that was much further down in the block than this address that we received, because there wasn't an actual address back further down the block where the boat dock was. But certain calls would lead you to certain areas of a place, and that's probably what they were doing, was they were backing up in the area based on the demographic of the call. That's my guess.
Any idea why they went to Frame Park if you specifically told them a description of a vehicle and where it was located?
I did not tell them where the vehicle was located because at first incident, Mr. Brooks had taken off in his SUV.
None of this is helpful to his defense, by the way, right?
In the police report, and is it fair to say that the officer that took your report was writing down what you told them?
Do you mean the officer that I alerted about the trouble in the SUV?
Well, let me back up.
He doesn't like the way he clarifies
On the
it.
next day, the 22nd of November of 2021, did you speak with a detective at that time?
Yes, I did.
And during that interview, were they writing down what you were saying?
I believe so, yes, but I believe it may also have been recorded on tape. I'm not sure.
And do you yourself recall stating to the detective that your friend Miss Patterson was being assaulted somewhere near the area of White Rock School?
Objection, lady.
Overruled. He may answer. I'll just caution Mr. Brooks about leading questions since it's his witness, but this particular question you can answer.
Yes, I mentioned that I had received a phone call from Miss Patterson and that she was being assaulted while in a vehicle.
At any time did you identify White Rock School?
I identified the street, which is named White Rock, the apartment buildings, and the school as well as Frame Park.
So you did identify Frame Park?
I identified the entire geographical area.
What? How does this help him?
And at some point you said you heard your friend Miss Patterson screaming?
Yes.
And do you recall what she was screaming?
Help, help.
Objection, hearsay.
Woo!
I said, do he recall?
As for the
Here
question,
we go.
he's asking, did he hear? So you may answer. It's a yes or no.
I do not. Yes, she screamed. Do I remember what she was trying to say? No, I'm guessing it would be help. I'm in trouble. I would assume that that's what a person would scream when they're in trouble, is for help.
Do we still have the exhibit with the footage from the White Rock School available?
The security footage?
The security footage, I'm sorry.
We do. Would the state be willing to pull that up?
Is he trying to... I got the same look on my face as she does. Is he trying to say that this man is lying? I mean, this is totally ironic to me anyway, that he tries to make everybody else in questions their credibility, and he is such a humongous liar. But I still don't understand how any of this is helpful to him. He's proving he was in the area. He's proving he was in the SUV.
I guess I need the defendant to identify which exhibit he would like us to publish.
There's 3 and 4. Door 1 and door 2 is what I have.
I'm sorry, you said do.
Exhibits 3 and 4 have been received. One is of the White Rock door 1, the other is White Rock door 2. I believe those are the videos you're referring to.
Let's try door 2.
Okay, that's exhibit 4.
Please put your mask back
Let's
on.
just put it up for the witness
please.
initially, make sure it's the one Mr. Brooks
Horrifying.
wants. I appreciate the state with their assistance. Can you see that on your monitor, Mr. Brooks? Is this the one you're looking at?
Yeah, I can see it.
I believe there's 2 clips from this, but go ahead.
Can you? This one is roughly 7 minutes, so I would need a little bit of it played, if possible.
It's been received, so go ahead. It'll be published, so everyone can see.
Well, before it's published, can you show it to the witness?
That's fine. We'll just play for the witness then.
I'm sorry, I should have.
Are we proving that he's
It's
a
playing, so we'll let
liar?
it go. Let us know
What are
if
you
there's a point
proving?
where you want it stopped.
Okay.
Darrell, you goblin.
I'm not sure if this is the video you're looking for, though.
It might be. Think it might be door 1.
No.
It's exhibit 3.
No, maybe not. Let's watch. I could be wrong.
I was kind of thinking that too.
Take a look. Of course, none of our statements
What-
right now are any kind of evidence. We're just
Okay.
trying to get to the right spot.
Can you
Pause right now
What are
at
you so
105.
ill
105?
prepared?
Can you back it up a few seconds? Not 2 or 3, but maybe 5 seconds, 6 seconds, maybe.
It's at 59 seconds. The witness. It is on the witness stand, by the way, just so you're aware.
Okay.
He's watching it.
Can you play from here? I don't think it's playing.
It's playing.
Oh, okay. Pause right there.
What's right there?
From what you can see in this video, do you see anyone get in or out of the vehicle that you see on your screen?
Miss Patterson has just exited the vehicle.
Just for the record, the video was played. It's Exhibit 4 from 56 seconds to 1:21. Go ahead.
I didn't hear the answer. I'm
Miss
sorry.
Patterson was the one that exited the red SUV.
You saw someone exit.
Yes.
Can you rewind it back?
To what? Again?
Do you want
To
it back to 56 seconds?
no, to 105, where it was paused the first time.
Okay. Thank you for attempting to do that, Ms. Gussie. It is paused at 1:05.
I think that in Nick's memory, he saw Erica get out, but in the video, it's not obvious that she got out, so it's off video. So he's got the witness there who actually saw the event. When I was assaulted, there's a video. It was on YouTube. It was not national. I think it might have been national news, but you cannot see even the CCTV. There are frames that it's like frame. It's like a bunch of pictures all stuck together and made into a video. So there are like bits and seconds that are not in that video. Like I hit the first wall and then I hit a pillar, and you only see me hit the pillar, not the first wall. You don't see me slammed into the first wall. So there are bits and pieces of these CCTV videos that aren't in there, but there could be stuff off camera. Like there was a lady off camera in my assault that was yelling and screaming. She's not on camera, but she's certainly there. I remember her being there. I can't separate her from the video. When I see the video, I hear her in my head, what she was. So, but what he's trying to say is it's not on the video, so it didn't happen. I don't know.
Do you want to play from
Yes, I'm sorry.
He's bent over, like looking at it. Doof.
Pause.
Paused again at 121.
Oh, okay.
Did you see anyone from, in the video that you're being shown now, from about the 1 minute and 5 second mark to where it's paused right now at 1 minute and 21 seconds, did you observe anyone get in or out of the vehicle?
I'm going to take back what I said earlier. Apparently, according to this video, she did not exit your vehicle. She was behind the White Rock sign. That's why I did not see her.
Did you see anyone get into the vehicle?
Later on, within the incident,
On-
yes.
On the video that you are able to view right now, from the 1 minute and 5 second mark to the 1 minute and 21 second mark, did you observe anyone get into the vehicle?
No.
Can you publish for the jury?
You want to replay it again?
Yes.
Go ahead. We'll start at the close to the minute mark as possible.
Again, is that where the defendant would like it started? Is
What?
this-
Around the 105, around that area.
105, exhibit 4.
I know we have to wait for the jury, right?
Right,
Okay.
and then you want it to the minute 21 mark again?
Yes,
All right,
if I may.
I am so surprised that he's not asking that in these seconds of the video, do you see me hit anybody in a parade?
Go ahead.
Oh my god, what an idiot.
And at that time, were you already en route to where you believe your friend was being assaulted at?
Assaulted
Objection calls for speculation. This defendant has not even put this witness at this location at this time. He's just having him testify about what he's seeing in video.
I understand the objection. It's sustained. Please establish some foundation for this witness being present
He doesn't understand what she's
at that
saying.
location. For
Were you-
more information about the incident.
Were you present at this time?
We were on White Rock Avenue, but we were not in the general location of the school as of yet. As of that point in time.
So to your recollection, you didn't see anything that you're seeing right now or on this video. You did not see the day of the incident?
No, I definitely saw Miss Patterson in a red SUV that day.
Did you see?
At this specific time, no. Because I was down the road on White Rock talking to an officer who was manning the intersection of Hartwell and White Rock. And reporting at that time.
Can we play a little bit more, if I may?
Objection as to relevance. If he wants to direct the video to a certain time that, and he would like to ask this witness about that particular time, if the witness saw that, that's fine. But he can't go through each video and say, and ask general questions.
There's only been one video that's been shown.
I'm going to give Mr. Brooks some leeway on this. The video is to be played from this moment, and then Mr. Brooks tell us when you want it to stop.
Okay. What I'm attempting to do for the record, Your Honor, is
Just play the video and you can ask your question.
All right.
Go ahead.
can you pause it right there?
Video's paused at 138.
By what you are viewing in this video right now, had you and your mutual friend Corey linked up with Miss Patterson at that point
At this point in time in the video, given from what I've just seen, that was when Erica was on the phone trying to get a hold of me. We were already on White Rock at that point in time. We were not near the school at that point in time, though.
So that was when you would, to your recollection, that's when you would say the phone call to you was made?
One of the phone calls, yes, she made multiple phone calls to me. I think probably about 6. I had been having issues with my phone that day, so it had been turned on and off multiple times. The final time that it was turned on was when I picked up her phone call, and she said, "I need help. I'm in trouble. Come help me. I'm being assaulted." That's when I left.
You just made reference to that point in the vehicle being, I'm sorry. I'm so drained. That point in the video was when you made reference to that point in the video being when you received the phone call.
Yes. A phone call out of multiple from her.
That's fair, a phone call. Would it be fair to say, though, that, and this is in reference to you saying that you were having issues with your phone that day, would it be fair to say that you're not sure how many phone calls you had received that day or who they were from?
I only received 51 phone calls on my phone that day that I actually do know. 6 of which belong to her.
And all around the same time?
All around the time. She obviously didn't want to get off the phone because no one calls me 6 times in a row unless they need some help.
Can we continue to play from 138?
Go ahead.
Can you pause
There's
right
Erica.
there very quick?
Paused at 1 minute 47 seconds.
Do you see in this video your friend Miss Patterson walking back in the direction that she had just come from?
I see her on the phone talking to someone, which I assume would be me, telling me where
Mr. Kirby, I need you to answer the specific question that's being asked at the moment, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, I see her on White Rock on the phone walking back in the direction she was originally.
Again, Your Honor, I'm going to
Coming
object
from.
to this line of questioning unless the defendant can put this witness there. I don't know what the relevance of this testimony is.
I didn't even get
The
to that
exhibit
point.
has been received, it's been published previously.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give Mr. Brooks some leeway here. Overruled.
Anybody can see he's messing this up because I'm hearing Leslie Basie say that all he's doing is showing the video and saying, "What do you see?" Anybody could do that, but he hasn't put the witness there. The witness isn't there at this time in the video. The witness is someplace else on the phone, making any of that interaction hearsay and really nothing that he can question. So she's giving him leeway because he doesn't know how to ask her or lay that foundation. And he is too stupid. Oh my God. At one time or another, we were all new at things, but, we were educated in them. He's too stupid to know that she's actually helping him if he were to listen to it. He just wants to keep doing what he's doing.
I would like you to
this
get
time-
to where you need to go, though.
That was the next question. At
That was the
this
next
point
question.
in the video, had you yet come into a range where you and your mutual friend Corey, had you yet come into a range where you can see Miss Patterson at that point?
Corey was the one that spotted her first.
Could you yourself see her at that point?
I heard her scream. That's what caught my attention.
And you made reference to that scream being heard from inside the vehicle. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, because that's where she was when she called me. And I was still on the phone with her while going down White Rock Avenue. Even while I was talking to the officer, I said, I'm on the phone with her right now. I'm trying to figure out where she is. Can you please call for backup?
All
So
of this
we
happening
continued down White
so
Rock
close together.
to look for Miss Patterson.
Would it be fair to say that in the phone call you received, she told you where she was at, and that's the area that you were generally responding to with your mutual friend Corey?
Miss Patterson doesn't know WAUKESHA. I knew the area she was talking about because I live in that area.
Would it be fair to say that you just testified to when you had the interaction with law enforcement that you stated you're on the phone with her right now trying to figure out where she was? So would it be fair to say at that point you didn't know where she was?
I knew that she was on White Rock. I didn't know exactly where or how far down on White Rock she was at that point in time. At that specific time, I did not know. It wasn't until I seen a red SUV parked in front of the apartment buildings on White Rock that I figured that might be the one that she was in. It was Corey who spotted her across from the road.
We're paused at the 1 minute and 47 second mark of this video. It's a little hard to see houses and things of the like. Can you point out in what area the red apartment you're referring to might be?
It's a touch screen.
It's a touch screen, so you can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can make an arrow point in the direction if that's helpful.
I'm not good with technology, guys. Sorry. I'm a dirt digger. Okay. This is the entrance to White Rock Elementary. Across the street and up maybe 20-30 feet, there's an intersection leading from an apartment building to the White Rock campus. That would be up here in this general corner right here. This whole area.
Would it be fair to say that from where we're paused at in the video, we can't tell if there's any vehicle parked in that general area?
You literally just played the video where the vehicle
Just
turned
answer the
around.
question, sir.
No, you cannot see it from this angle.
Can we please clear the
Yes.
arrow?
And then he'll conveniently not play where he comes right from that area. I can
Would it be fair to say
feel
that
the frustrated even
where the
it is.
video is paused now, that Miss Patterson is not, or who you identified as Miss Patterson is not inside of a vehicle?
She is not inside of a vehicle in this video, no.
Can we play it from 1 minute and 47 seconds?
Go ahead.
She's behind the sign.
Pause there. At this point, had you come into a range where you can see Miss Patterson at that point?
No.
The record video's paused at 2:13.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
13.
Keep going.
And you made reference to your friend Corey spotting her first.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Corey had said that she thought she had seen her across the street, and we looked, and we crossed the street once, and then we crossed the street back over. Then we crossed again for the final time. That wasn't until later when the incident with Mr. Brooks took place.
And at this point, walking with your friend Corey, Had she alerted you to spotting Miss Patterson at that point?
She said she's over here. She must be out of his car now or something. She said something along the lines of that. So we went across the street and there was Miss Patterson hobbling down the street with a boot on her leg.
You made reference to your friend Corey saying she must be out of his car now. Do you know, as you were walking with your friend Corey, do you know if she observed Miss Patterson being in a vehicle at that point?
She was with me when the phone call came. So I assume that when someone tells me that they're in a vehicle, then they are in a vehicle. That does not mean that they would be in a vehicle by the time I got there. I was on foot. And I wasn't walking, I was running.
Can you play it from 2:13? Hard to see that in that corner.
He just very eloquently,
Hold on, let it go.
Nick just very eloquently reminded us that all of this is fluid, not static.
Pause right there. Is that 409?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say we see some individuals walking right here? Are you able to see that in the video?
Yes, I can see it.
At that time, had you come close enough to the scene where you can observe any individuals in that area?
I don't remember the people that were in that area. I was only focused on the one, and that was the one in danger.
Could you
So no.
Could you at that point observe Miss Patterson?
From my point on the street, from where I was,
At that time, yeah, where it's paused at now.
during a parade, no.
Can we clear the circle? Thank you. We observed at some point Miss Patterson crossing over to the opposite side of the road.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Any
I was
eye-
on the phone with her at that point.
Could you observe from coming down White Rock? Can you observe that from where you were at that time?
I was at the intersection of White Rock and Hartwell when she said that she was by some red apartment buildings.
Could you see her from that position?
No, not from that far down.
Can we play it from 409?
Go ahead.
Pause right there.
Pausing at 4:18.
418, I'm
There's
sorry.
the red SUV right up there.
Go ahead.
You see the two individuals here?
Yep.
Do you know who those individuals are?
That's me and Miss Corey.
So at 409 to 418, you were able to come into view of Miss Patterson at that point?
No. I wasn't. I was on my phone trying to call her back to find out where she was.
Can we clear this circle? Thank you. So at this point right here where the video is paused, 418, you weren't able to observe Miss Patterson on White Rock Avenue at that point?
Objection, asked and answered.
Huh?
Overruled. The witness may answer.
I was not looking ahead of me. As you can tell by the video, I was looking at my phone trying to call Miss Patterson back because she was not answering her phone. That scared me. So I told Corey to keep an eye out look for her as I tried to keep calling her. When I looked up and we got past the White Rock Elementary School sign, that was when I seen her.
Would it be fair to say that judging from the video, the White Rock, let me back up. Are you referring to the sign right here that says White Rock Campus?
I'm referring to where the end of the school building itself meets the driveway or the road that's there. There's a
Um,
turnoff road.
I apologize. Can we take that X from next to the White Rock campus sign? So, can you point to exactly what you're referring to?
Where that intersection is, where I just drew that little X, that intersection cuts across from the other side of White Rock to the other side and leads to the leads to a road, but also there's the frame park area there, and I believe there's a boat launch there somewhere. I don't know.
And at that point, you were able to observe Miss Patterson.
I observed her walking when Corey had told me that she had seen her. And
I'm with Basie. Why are we doing
so
this?
we grabbed her and started to leave to turn around. At that point in time, an officer was coming.
I'm with Basie. Why are we dragging this man through any of this? Okay, so this is exhausting.
Coming to Frame Park because of the report that I had given.
So you observed Miss Patterson walking and not inside of a vehicle.
At that point in time, no.
No, as in
She was not in a vehicle at that point in time when we finally came upon her.
So when, if at any time did you observe Miss Patterson inside of a vehicle?
When she was going back into his vehicle to get her things or whatever it was that she was trying to pull out of his car, her phone or something or whatever.
Can we play the video from 418?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we clear the X?
Continuing to
Sorry
play
about
from
that.
418. It's at 421, but go ahead.
It's my popcorn.
Pause right here.
Pause here. See,
Is
there's
it fair
nothing
to say
going on.
it stopped at 4 minutes and 38 seconds? Is it fair to say from the video that two people right there are crossing the road?
Yes.
And do you know the identity of those two people?
That's me and Miss Corey.
Would it be fair to say that at that time you observed Miss Patterson?
That was when I first noticed the red Jeep, or red SUV, whatever you want to call it, across the street. We had zigzagged up White Rock, going from one side to another looking for Erica. When we ended up on this side, the red SUV was parked in front of the apartment buildings. There was a tree here, and Miss Erica came from the passenger side of the vehicle around the back. That's when I heard her yell something. That's when I went over.
You made reference to
Fluid.
Miss Patterson coming from around the vehicle.
Coming from the passenger side, so I had assumed that she had just gotten out of the vehicle.
Do you know that for sure?
If I didn't see her earlier when I was on White Rock, or a vehicle earlier on White Rock, how could I know?
Wow. He's
Did you
angry.
see her in the vehicle at that time?
I seen her come from around the vehicle. I am not actually sure if she was in the vehicle at that point in
Okay.
time.
Thank you.
I was just going by what she said over the phone.
Okay.
So my
understood.
assumption is that she was in a vehicle.
All right, next question.
If it pleases Your Honor, do we have a better view of this point in particular?
I don't know.
No. How would
Maybe on
she know?
Exhibit 3 might be a better view
Of what I want to
This-
semantic
If you
him
have a
particular
into?
part.
specific spot to direct the state to, then I will have them do that. But
Can we view Exhibit 3?
Yeah.
do you have a
Idiot.
specific spot to direct the state to on Exhibit 3?
I'm not sure. It's been, I don't know how long since we viewed that exhibit. I don't know how long it is.
He has all the exhibits But I have all the exhibits, Your Honor. This is painful. This is painful. What's he staring at her for? God, he's so creepy.
I'm just reviewing my notes. If there's a specific spot that you recall, I might be able to direct the state to that. But you'll have to give me a little more information.
Okay. I think that's why I was stating about the length of the video. I'm pretty sure I would know the exact spot. I don't know how long that video is. It's towards the end of it. I know that for sure.
As prepared as he ever is.
Can you ask your next question? You need to be able to tell the state with more
Where to go.
specificity which part of which exhibit and at what point.
Well, I know the exhibit. The exhibit would be 3.
Okay.
And the spot, judging on the length of the exhibit, would be towards the end of the exhibit.
And you're sure it's exhibit 3?
No.
That
Exhibit
would be
4.
White Rock Door 1, correct?
That's my understanding. All right, so we're done with this exhibit?
Yes.
All right, turn that off. I'm gonna just
This is
ask
painful.
the state to just preview to the parties. We'll see if we can find it quickly on exhibit 3.
You're the one who wanted to give him leeway.
Yes. So it's
Looks like it's 4.
about 4:14, a little over 4 minutes. So I would say around about the 3:30-ish mark, if that helps.
Well, we're
No,
going to show
it
it to you
doesn't.
in the state, and if it helps you, then you can ask this witness a question about it. Otherwise, we're going to move on.
Thank you. You're the one who wanted to give him leeway.
I would say take it back to about 3:15.
This is the footage, though, you're looking
Yes,
for?
this is the footage. Yes.
Is that where you want to start?
Actually, let's go 3 minutes exactly. This is definitely the video.
All right, this has previously been received. Why don't we watch it from this point forward and then ask your questions?
But before it's played,
Don't hit that yet. Sorry. Turn it
wait
off.
for the jury. Or
Go ahead, tell me what you want to do. That was a mistake on our part. It's just
You
in
can
front
show
of
it.
you and the witness at the moment.
yeah, that's fine right now.
Well, I don't want to have to play it twice for the jury. So if you're
Oh.
going to question him, let's show it. It's already been admitted.
So should it just publish
Why
now
don't
or
we
just?
publish it from this point, play it, and you can ask the witness questions regarding it, okay?
Okay.
All right, so it's at 3 minutes. It's play about 1 minute and 14 seconds to get from this point to the end.
So are we publishing or?
Yes, we'll publish
Oh.
now. Jury, you can let me know when it's on the monitors in the jury box. That may take a little longer.
He's trying to get to these zowie moments, and he is just not doing it.
Do you,
No.
right now it's paused at 3 minutes. Does looking at this video right now bring any recollection of that day back to you?
Yeah.
And using the touchscreen, can you identify, if you see yourself in this video, can you identify where you are?
I'm right here.
And can you identify who the other person is that's shown on the exhibit?
That's Miss Corey.
You can play from right
Let's
there.
clear that first and then
Oh,
play.
I'm sorry. Well, before we play, could you see from right there where you are? Can you see Miss Patterson, where her position is at that point?
No.
Can we play it from right there?
Go ahead.
Can we pause? It's fair to say that we can see you and Miss Corey running towards the area of the vehicle that just stopped. Is that
Yes.
fair to say?
Yes.
And where was Miss Patterson at this time, if you recall?
At that point in time, she had met up with Corey. Corey had walked ahead of me, and her and I were looking for her. I didn't see her right away. Corey did, and she just told me she's in a red car. So that's what we were looking for.
At that time, was Miss Patterson inside of the vehicle?
I do not recall.
This is fluid.
But what I do recall is the owner of the vehicle getting out of the vehicle, and that became my primary concern.
Stop. That's not my semantics. Stop. That makes me look bad. Idiot.
We observed the two, you and Miss Corey, running towards the area of the vehicle. Why such the urgency?
Miss Patterson is a mutual friend of ours. She said she was in trouble. I don't play around when people are in trouble.
Thank you.
Can we play it from, it's paused at 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Can we play a little bit of it from there?
I'd be friends with him. There he is.
Pause right there.
Dumb Darrell. With his stupid hood up. Looking all
Can you
thug.
see Miss Patterson? It's
So
paused
little.
at 3 minutes and 11 seconds.
He's such a tiny little goblin. Look at that tiny little goblin. I'm thug. I'm coming around the vehicle. I'm getting you. Let's make this bigger so we can see.
Seconds. Do you see Miss Patterson in this video? Let's
Yes.
pause that right now.
Yes.
Is she inside the vehicle?
No, she is not.
There.
Had you seen her before that?
Corey had spotted her, not me, before that. She did.
But it is fair to say that you're also in the area at
I
that
am
time, correct?
not in this general frame, no. I'm
Not
actually outside the frame.
not the video, but you are
The video.
present on the scene. Would that
Oh,
be fair to
yes.
say?
Yes.
And what happened at this point, if you recall?
At this point, there was a physical altercation between Mr. Brooks and Miss Corey and Miss Erica. I was more worried about Miss Patterson being hurt, so I went for her to get her out of the way. I stepped between them as best I could, and I told Mr. Brooks he needs to leave. He needs to get out of here. Does not belong out here.
Ooh.
Do you recall if there was a knife involved at that time?
No, that is a miscommunication, and I will clarify that. The Monday...
Hold on, there's not a question yet.
Okay.
He'll ask the questions. I appreciate that, but just answer the questions that are asked at this point. Go ahead.
Did you at any point during this altercation, did you observe Miss Patterson get back into the vehicle at that point?
I observed her reaching into the vehicle for something. I don't know if she was grabbing a purse or something or whatnot, but she was grabbing something of her personal property out of the vehicle.
Did you observe
while
her?
This was going on?
Did you observe her get into the vehicle?
No.
Can we play it from 3 minutes and 11 seconds, please?
Go ahead.
Pause it right there. Did you see yourself come into the frame in this vehicle at that
Yes.
point? Would that be you there?
Yes.
It would be fair to say that you had some type of jacket on, or a black jacket.
Black jacket.
At one point,
that
yes.
evening? What happened to your jacket at that point?
That jacket hit the ground as soon as Mr. Brooks started going for the two women.
Ooh.
So you
He is
threw the
mad.
jacket off,
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
and what was your reason for throwing the jacket off?
Well, if the court don't hate me for it, I'm just going to say it's a good thing that there were two women in my way at that point in time.
And what do you mean by that?
That means when my jacket comes off, trouble's going to happen. Especially if you're trying to assault a
The
woman
earrings coming off. He's getting ready to fight.
in front of me.
So that gesture was an aggressive gesture.
Oh, that was a completely focused gesture.
Someone is at front door.
Hold on 1 second. Somebody's at the door. Let's continue.
Well, you did make reference to. Let me back up.
We beg you.
Would it be fair to say that you just made reference to trouble following you throwing off your jacket?
No, not trouble following me.
Well, maybe that's the wrong way to put it, but
I'm
there would
confused
be
by your
trouble.
question.
Excuse me?
Can you rephrase your question?
Oh, I will. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You made reference to there being trouble when your jacket comes off. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that that would be, or that could be, perceived as an aggressive gesture?
You mean as in...
Objection. Calls for speculation. How it's perceived calls for speculation.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Thank you. You were just being mean.
If you recall, who gave the report that there was a knife involved?
That was not put into a report. That was a miscommunication between me and an officer. I had been knifed earlier that week and had 12 stitches in one hand. I said, now I have a friend being assaulted and I need backup here.
I need
So when the
backup
police
here.
stopped and asked if there was a knife, I
Tough
said,
guy.
no, there was never any knife.
Whew.
I didn't have a knife.
I like
Miss
that.
Patterson, Miss Corey didn't have a knife. You didn't have a knife.
Did you get a chance to see the report that was taken by law enforcement from you?
Well, I'm the one. You mean you're talking about when I was on White Rock going to Miss Patterson?
No. The day of November 2020, the day of November 22nd, 2021. You made reference already to being interviewed by a detective, correct?
Yes.
And had you, after that, seen that report from that day?
No.
WAUKESHA. There's some kind of mansplain going on all here. That I recognize.
And you stated that the reporting of the knife was a miscommunication, you
Yes.
referred to it as?
Yes.
Did you at any time tell law enforcement that there was a knife involved in the altercation?
No.
No.
Do you know if your friend Corey told law enforcement that there was a knife involved in the altercation?
No, she did not.
Do you know if your friend Miss Patterson told any law enforcement that there was a knife involved in the altercation?
She did not as well. No.
If somebody has 12 stitches from a stab wound from a previous incident, and now they're involved in another violent or domestic incident, it is reasonable for the police to warn of that being a possibility. Oh, I gotta see what's going on. Hold on. Okay, so many interruptions today.
And how long before the incident on November 21 of 2021 had you known Miss Patterson up until that point?
Probably maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks.
I want to back up to the phone call that you received from Miss Patterson.
Okay.
All over the map.
When she called you, did she give you a name of whoever may have been assaulting her?
She didn't have to. She was meeting one person that day, and I knew exactly who he was because she had showed me his picture and rap sheet prior.
Oh, he keeps saying that.
Her child's father, the father of their 15-year-old daughter, is who she was meeting up with that day. And I told her multiple times, it's not a good idea. I have a bad feeling about this.
He's not letting up.
Do you recall stating, well, actually, you testified to that here today. Do you recall stating that you walked past the red SUV that was parked?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say from the two exhibit videos that we watched today that you in fact did not walk past any SUV?
I most definitely walked past an SUV that was red on White Rock Avenue. Whether or not it was your specific SUV, it was still a red SUV. Up until this point, knowing Miss Patterson, I didn't know anything about the father of her child. I didn't know anything about his background except for what she showed me over the phone. Anything about his vehicle description, why would she need to tell me that?
Is it fair to say that the video doesn't show you walking past any red SUV?
If the
Is
video,
that fair to say?
If the video proves that, then yes.
If we're going to go down this road, Darrell, and we're going to say only what is in video is what is true, you, my friend, are in big trouble. because everything in video is pretty damning. I mean, how long is he going to?
In the report that you,
Not long. Okay.
well, in the report that was taken from you by detective, do you yourself recall stating that the alleged defendant tried to punch and push you?
The alleged defendant being you? Yes. Attempted to.
Would it be fair to say from the video that it doesn't show you being pushed or
No, it does not.
The
It
video.
shows me pulling two women away from the situation.
any reason why you would state to detectives that the alleged defendant attempted to punch and push you?
Probably because there were three different people's fists flying, and I was just trying to get the people that I cared about out of the way of danger. So if my statement to the detective is off a little bit after watching a bunch of people get run over, I can understand why.
So you were at the parade that day?
I was not at the parade that day. I was in the area
So
trying
how
to get back to my house.
can you watch people being run over if you weren't at the parade that day?
Feels responsible.
I wasn't attending the parade. I was in the area that the parade route was in. My street is the parade route.
Did you see anyone injured that day?
When
During the parade?
Yes, after I walked back through that area,
You saw someone get injured?
I saw a red SUV take off like a bat out of hell down Main Street
Did
and
you
go
see?
through a crowd of people.
The question was, did you see this take place?
With my own freaking eyes.
Oh!
Yes. How many times do I have to say yes for you to understand it? YES spells yes.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't know how to.
You moving to strike the last response?
Yeah.
The jury will disregard the last response. I'm just going to remind both of you, please answer the questions that are asked. If follow-up needs to take place, either Mr. Brooks or the state will ask.
Is it fair to, well, in reference to the
You still do. Nick doesn't look
Exhibit
bad.
3
You do.
video that we just viewed?
You're talking about the one by the elementary school.
Yeah, the one
Okay.
the one that we just viewed,
Just checking.
which would be Exhibit 3. Is it fair to say from that vehicle? Got me.
Videos.
I'm sorry. From that video, is it fair to say from that video that, in fact, there are not three people throwing punches? Would that be fair to say?
There are three people throwing hands in that video. Erica, Corey, and Mr. Brooks.
Oh!
Not myself. If you watch the video, you will see three pairs of hands go up towards one another.
You
Whether
and
one
the two
is stepping in
girls.
to pull someone away from another or not. Hands are being brought up.
So in other words, you screwed up there too, Darrell.
Do you recall where you went after that altercation?
To the parade, apparently.
You mean where me and the two girls went? Where me and Miss Patterson and Miss Corey went?
Where you and the
We
two
started.
friends went? Yes.
We started walking back. We turned to walk back the direction we had came, so taking White Rock to Main Street. and then cutting through the neighborhood there to get over to where the women's shelter was. That was where we were going at that point in time. However, things took a drastic turn when the red SUV that I have described multiple times went down the opposite direction of White Rock Avenue, across the railroad tracks and the intersection of Perkins and White Rock, and then turned back around and came back down. That is what you saw in the video here when the red vehicle pulled up on the school side of White Rock. After the altercation between Miss Patterson, Mr. Brooks, Miss Corey, and myself, the three of us, Miss Patterson, Miss Corey, we started to leave. I told Mr. Brooks, you need to get out of here. The police have been called. You need to leave. You need to leave now. You do not belong here. I did not expect.
Can you strike everything that's not pertaining to the question that was asked?
Actually, I'm just describing the entire event in its entirety.
I understand. I'll strike the response as being non-responsive to the question. The jury is to disregard it. Re-ask your question again.
Okay. Do you recall where you and your two female friends went after the altercation?
We started to head back in the direction of the women's shelter where they lived, where they were staying at the time.
Do you recall at any point during your travels to the women's shelter, as you referred to it, do you recall at any time coming into contact with another law enforcement officer?
Within that point in time, no. Except for the one that pulled out of Frame Park.
Do you recall at any time being stopped by a law enforcement officer on your way back to the women's shelter?
We were stopped partway down White Rock, and that was when I had told the officer, because he wouldn't get out of his SUV, I had let him know that they need to be on the lookout for a red SUV that took off back down White Rock towards Perkins Avenue, or street or road, whatever it is. The officer had asked me if there was someone with a knife, and that was when I held up my left hand, and I said no. I said I have 12 stitches from a knife injury on this hand, but this is what you need to be looking for, is this red SUV. And I'm guessing that's where the miscommunication of the knife came in, and I don't know where that officer went after that.
And would it be fair to say that that was the second law enforcement officer that you had spoke with that day, at that time?
Yes. You are referring to November 21st?
Correct.
Okay.
During that interaction with the second law enforcement officer, do you yourself recall stating that a black guy just assaulted my friend?
No.
Any reason why the officer would report that?
Objection.
How would he know?
Rounds.
Sustained. Calls for speculation.
Did you yourself sustain any injuries during the altercation?
No.
I ripped open 3 stitches on my hand, but that was more so from pulling Miss Corey away from Mr. Brooks so we could get out of there.
That hurts.
Did you report to any law enforcement? Well, I guess that would refer to the second law enforcement officer that you spoke with. Did you report that to that officer?
No. Because at the time I didn't notice it. I didn't notice my hand was ripped open again until I got home.
So it would be fair to say that you don't know how those stitches opened up. Would that be fair to say?
No, I'm pretty sure I know how they opened. My stitches got caught on the zipper on Corey's backpack. That's how the stitches were ripped out of my hand when I was trying to pull her away from Mr. Brooks and intervene between her, Mr. Brooks, and Miss Patterson.
Knowing a little bit about stitches, would it be fair to say that a wound that was stitched being reopened would cause a little bit of pain? Would that be fair to say?
Maybe he's not a little bitch, okay? God, maybe he is not a little short bitch. Ugh. My pinky, and you heal the bruises, and oh my God. This is horrifying.
Did you notice any blood from the stitches being reopened?
Didn't feel anything until I actually looked at it when I got home. 12 stitches coming across my thumb in kind of like a fish hook type pattern. It was the 2 over here that ripped open, and the 1 up here. Or actually, I take that back, the 1 up here.
So just for the record, he's holding his left hand. He had his thumb out, extended almost like an L, but with the other fingers almost like a C, and he was pointing to his left thumb,
The webbing.
near, I would say, the middle of the thumb, and then the curve of the thumb where on the inside where it goes up toward the other, toward
That
the index
must have
finger.
hurt.
Sorry, I have to make a
No.
record of all
No,
of
that's
it.
just fine.
Go ahead.
So was it 2 stitches that opened or 3?
Objection, relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled. He may answer, but then
Relevance.
It was 3.
Relevance.
And do you recall what time you made it home that evening?
Absolutely not.
Was it immediately after the altercation or sometime after? Or
No, I took the girls back to the shelter, and then I started running back towards Main Street
Which is where he
to
lives.
try and see if I could avoid the parade traffic. And that's when I saw the red SUV go down Main Street.
So he saw everything. Oh my goodness. I wanted to go riding today, but the wind is kind of shitty. We'll see if there's anything good on Sunday. They're laughing at him.
And do you recall speaking with your women friends after you had made it home that evening?
Yes.
Did at any time you indicate to them that you...
Objection, hearsay.
Hold on, let him finish the question. He was asking what he indicated
strike
to
the
them.
question. I thought that's what I said.
I
You
thought
can
that's
ask
what
a
I see.
question. That's what I thought you were saying too.
Did you yourself at any time indicate
Indicate.
to
Indicate.
your female friends
Female
that
friends.
you had
Female.
sustained injury during the altercation?
No.
Objection, relevance.
Because, again,
Overruled.
not
He
a little
answered.
bitch. Oh my god. He has to just drive this stuff home. He does not make himself look good. Read the room, Darrell. Uh,
In the time that you had known Miss Patterson up until that day of November 21st of 2021, had you yourself ever heard Miss Patterson refer to the alleged defendant by a different name?
Objection relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled. The witness may answer if he knows.
No. You mean like an alias or something?
A different name.
Well,
Different name?
That a nickname and alias. I mean, let's be specific here.
Did Miss Patterson ever refer to him with another name, if you recall?
Not that I can personally recall, no, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
in other words, okay, so what he's talking about is apparently, and I've had this happen to me recently, like in the past 10 years, somebody introduced themselves as another name. Hi, Steve. And that wasn't the name at all. Okay, so he introduces himself to her when she's a child as a different name, Jay or something, some like innocuous thing. I don't know why a liar would lie about that, but maybe to protect himself in case he doesn't want to move on with the relationship so he can ghost a little easier. I'm not sure, but there you go. He was a liar from the start. So what are you proving here, Darrell?
Do you recall if, to your knowledge, was your friend Miss Corey, as you referred to her?
Did you refer to her?
Do you recall her stating that she was injured during the altercation?
She did tell me that she I believe she like hurt her finger or her fingernail or something like that, but I don't think it was relevant to the incident that had happened.
What do you mean by you don't think it was relevant to the incident that happened?
Objection as to relevance.
Sustained is to the form of the question.
Where are we going here, Darrell?
No further questions?
Oh, thank goodness!
Before I decide whether to do cross at this time, how long do you believe it will be?
0 minutes because I have no cross.
Oh!
And you can step down. And we're going to take a break.
Thank you, ma'am.
So in other words, nothing he asked, no zingers.
I'll rise for the jury.
No zingers. No zingers. No zingers, Darrell. No zingers. No zingers. No zingers. Let's see if she has anything to say, because this is painful AF, man. Look at him. Oh my god. Can I get that one? Can I get that? face. Oh my goodness. Ah. What are you doing? Oh. People make faces all the time and they don't know what they look like, but he
All right,
is
thank you. You may be seated. You
otherworldly,
may, step down, sir.
ugly.
And presume he may be released from his subpoena, Mr. Brooks. You're done questioning him?
Oh, he's laughing at the guy.
All right, you are released from your subpoena, sir. All right, let's take about a 15-minute break. Anything we need
He's
to
just
address
laughing
prior
at him
to
because
that,
he
or
tripped or
no, we come
something.
back? Nope.
God, what an asshole.
All right, Mr. Brooks, work with the state, please, for the next witness. We have them available.
I need a break from the, this is, ugh. Painful. Thank you for joining. Like, subscribe, comment. I know there's going to be comments about this one. Bye.